Hey and welcome to the Daily Man United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. PSG want to sign Fred next summer. Manchester United are set to receive surprise interest in midfielder Fred, with Paris Saint-Germain reported to be interested. Despite United triggering an option in Fred's contract this week to extend to June 2024, PSG are claimed to be interested. The Sun report Fred is on PSG's list of potential signings for next summer. United would reportedly not consider selling for anything less than £30 million. United extended the contracts of 4 players this week: Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, Diogo Dalot and Fred. Fred was the one which was most surprising, with a report in The Guardian recently claiming Erik would let him walk away on a free transfer. The thought behind the extension may simply be so United can fetch a fee for the midfielder. This has been a strategy which backfired in the past, but with this is just a 12-month option, it actually makes sense this time. Fred is a squad player for United, selected to start only 4 of 14 Premier League games under Erik ten Hag. While he has enjoyed a strong partnership with Casemiro for Brazil, he is not the first option to pair with him for United, and nor was he for the Seleção at the World Cup. United signed Fred in 2018 from Shakhtar Donetsk, and he will turn 30 in March. We would take the £30 million figure a little lightly. It's hard to consider United during down £25 million with 1 year left on his deal, for instance. PSG would be an appealing club for Fred to sign for, with a strong Brazilian contingent, including Neymar and Marquinhos. Facundo Pellistri could leave Man United in January after latest snub from Erik ten Hag. Manchester United youngster Facundo Pellistri could push for an exit in January after the latest snub from manager Erik ten Hag. The Uruguayan has been with the Red Devils since the summer of 2020, but he has yet to make his competitive debut for the club this season. He has been a regular part of the matchday squad, but has failed to come off the bench in 14 games, including Burnley. In comparison, Pellistri has been a key player for Uruguay since his debut in January. He started in 2 of their 3 outings at the World Cup. Earlier last month, it was revealed that the 21-year-old was already eyeing a new challenge, and we won't be surprised if he leaves in January. United previously loaned him out for 18 months at Alaves, but it has been claimed that Pellistri wants to leave the club permanently this time. Pellistri has not looked like making his debut under Ten Hag this season. The manager currently prefers Anthony Elanga for the right-wing role. There is also Jadon Sancho, who will return after his individual training program in the Netherlands. The England star should add to the competition for places. Hence, Pellistri's chances of making an appearance are bleak unless there is a major injury crisis. The youngster is most likely to push for the exit door soon. United paid a hefty fee of around €8.5 million to prize him away from Penarol 2 years ago, and the club will be aiming to recoup the sum if he leaves next month. Aside from Pellistri, there should also be doubts over the future of Donny van de Beek, who was an unused substitute after being part of the winter camp. Bruno Fernandes started in the number 10 position against Burnley after just 1 training session. Ten Hag says Casemiro signing was key to helping him turn Manchester United around. Erik ten Hag has pinpointed the signing of Casemiro as key to Manchester United's future success. United landed Casemiro from Real Madrid in mid-August, a signing which seemed improbable at the time. Fortunately, Casemiro felt that leaving Real Madrid was the right move. After winning 5 Champions League titles for the club, he wanted a fresh challenge, which he certainly has at Erik ten Hag's Manchester United. So far, the Brazilian has made an excellent start. Ten Hag spoke to Dutch outlet Voetbal International about his journey at Manchester United so far. He said he felt that watching United last season, he saw a team which did not fight for each other or work as a team. The manager singled out the signing of Casemiro as key to accelerating the club's path to success as a proven winner who commands respect, Ten Hag said. To get that winning mentality into the dressing room, you need personalities. That's why the purchase of Casemiro was so important. He can speed up the process because he knows what you have to do to win titles. Turning Manchester United around is not a simple task, and even the improvements which are made may not be enough because the Premier League is so competitive. Teams around United are all striving to improve themselves, which is why Erik ten Hag said last week he would welcome a takeover to provide the necessary funds. Having a multiple times Champions League winner in midfield helps too. From his performances this season, it has been clear that Casemiro has a huge part to play. The Brazilian won United's Player of the Month award for October, and it would not be a surprise to see him sweep up a few more. Paul Parker slams Manchester United forward Jadon Sancho as a complete waste of money. Former Manchester United defender Paul Parker has slammed England international Jadon Sancho as a complete waste of money. The ex-Red Devils has been disappointed with the lack of impact the 22-year-old has had since joining the club. The Old Trafford side signed the winger in the summer of 2021 from Borussia Dortmund. However, the former BVB star has been unable to replicate the form he had shown in Germany in the Premier League. Speaking to Be My Bet, Parker, who spent 5 years at United during his playing career, sympathized with Sancho. However, the former defender wants the youngster to reflect and get back on track as soon as possible. He said the following: "Mental issues are very tough to talk about, and everyone thinks they know a lot about it, but they don't, and because of that, it's tough for me to talk about his mentality, but I can say that he has been a complete waste of money. He needs to look at himself in the mirror. He needs to figure out why things are not working for him, and maybe he will find out that Man United is too big of a club for him." The 22-year-old made his way through the youth ranks at Manchester City and joined Dortmund in the summer of 2017. At BVB, the forward developed into one of the best creative players in Germany. Subsequently, the Red Devils placed their bet on Sancho. Unfortunately, he has been underwhelming since making a move to Manchester. In the previous campaign, the 22-year-old found it hard to make a considerable impact. This season, the youngster started off on the front foot. The arrival of Erik ten Hag in the Old Trafford side's dugout seemed to have spurred the forward. The England international scored some important goals for us initially. He got on the score sheet against Liverpool and Leicester City as the club went on a 4-game win streak in the English top flight. However, since then, the winger's performances have dropped off. Sancho was also unable to break into Gareth Southgate's plans for the 2022 World Cup. Man United to face Charlton Athletic at Old Trafford. Manchester United will be hosting Charlton Athletic in the Carabao Cup quarter-final in January. The Red Devils have had an impressive campaign in the competition thus far. They beat Aston Villa, coming from behind in the third round with a 4-2 scoreline. Alejandro Garnacho was the pick of the players with a terrific cameo of the bench. The young graduate was brought on at 2-2 and registered 2 crucial assists for his side. Following the World Cup break, United beat Burnley 2-0 in the fourth round. Christian Eriksen and Marcus Rashford bagged the goals in the first and second half, respectively. They are now scheduled to face Charlton in the quarter-final in the week commencing on January 9. The League Cup tie will be played between United's home games against Everton January 6 and Manchester City January 14 in the FA Cup and the Premier League respectively. The Red Devils are facing the London club for the first time since 2007. They should be overwhelming favourites to beat them and progress to the last 4 of the competition. United have a genuine chance of winning their first silverware since 2017, with several elite clubs including Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham and holders Liverpool having been eliminated. In our view, City are currently the only threat to the club in the quest for a long-awaited silverware. A trophy in Erik ten Hag's first season as United's manager would be a big success. Glen Johnson advises Chelsea winger Christian Pulisic against a move to Manchester United. Former Chelsea defender Glen Johnson, while speaking to Midnight, has advised Christian Pulisic to stay at Chelsea amid Manchester United's interest. Pulisic's current contract at Stamford Bridge expires in June 2024, and there are many suitors for the USA international who impressed many with his performances at the FIFA World Cup. United are one of the interested parties in the player, but Johnson believes that Pulisic should not be thinking about a move to Old Trafford. He said the following: "I want Chelsea to keep Christian Pulisic. He shouldn't leave for Manchester United. I have defended him for a long time and said he has so much potential, but now he needs to prove it." Pulisic became a household name with his performances with Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga before he was snapped up by Chelsea in 2019, although he has shown glimpses of his huge potential. Overall, he has not been able to live up to the £57.6 million fee that was paid to Dortmund, and in 133 appearances for the club so far, has contributed to 26 goals and 21 assists. It's a merge return compared to the ability that the player possesses, and may believe that Chelsea would be willing to cash in on the player, which goes in line with the manner in which the club handles its business. United have shown a willingness to sign the player. Realistically, it still seems a far-fetched deal considering the wing options we currently have, plus the need for reinforcement in other areas of the pitch, especially a striker. Hence, this is a deal which in all probability would not gather pace until the latter stages of his current contract running down with Chelsea, which would then provide a great opportunity for clubs to sign the USA international for a low fee. Man United handed big boost in signing Joao Felix after Diego Simeone's comment. Manchester United have been handed a big boost in signing Joao Felix this winter following the recent comments from Atletico Madrid manager Diego Simeone. Felix has had a difficult season with the Madrid Giants. He has played just 818 minutes of first-team football. It's clear that his relationship with Simeone has deteriorated, and the same was recently confirmed by Atletico CEO Gil Marin. In the same interview, Marin disclosed that the Portuguese idea is to leave the club in the new year, and Simeone has now refused to rule out his January departure by saying that no one is indispensable and things will be as they have to be. United have been admirers of the 23-year-old from his early days at Benfica. Last summer, they made an ambitious €120 million bid for Felix, but Atletico deemed him as indispensable under Simeone. However, the scenario has completely changed with the player falling out with his manager. The Spanish Giants are now prepared to allow his departure for a package of around €100 million. The Glazers could be reluctant to pay such a fee amid talk of a potential takeover, but a loan deal with an option to buy at the end of the campaign could be a realistic prospect for United. Atletico recently sanctioned Matheus Cunha's loan move to Wolverhampton Wanderers with a buy clause. The Red Devils will be hoping to convince them with a similar kind of proposal. Felix has averaged just 45 minutes per game at Atletico this term, but has still chipped in with 4 goals and 3 assists. He could excel playing up front under manager Erik ten Hag. At Atletico, he has struggled to nail down a starting place, while the playing style has not suited him. At United, he could have the chance to express himself with a regular role in the starting 11. Adrien Rabiot pushing for a Premier League move. When we look back for a MVP of Manchester United season, a wisecracking choice might be to name Véronique Rabiot. Véronique Rabiot is Adrien Rabiot's mother and agent, who held personal negotiations with Manchester United football director Jan Mortov over this summer. Soon afterwards, Manchester United's move for Adrien Rabiot collapsed. Fabrizio Romano reported that United viewed Rabiot's wages demands as too high. Manchester United then decided to pay a higher fee for a far superior player, landing 5 times Champions League winner Casemiro. Casemiro has had a major impact so far at United, while Rabiot's future at Juventus seems more uncertain than ever. Adrien Rabiot could end up in the Premier League after all. It just won't be with Manchester United. The Times reports that Véronique Rabiot has offered the France international midfielder to both Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal. Tottenham are considered to be frontrunners with a fee of £13.5 million proposed. However, as with United, any deal will come down to wage demands. Rabiot may not ask as much from other clubs as his agent did with United. The Red Devils are often seen as a cash-now-buy agent, and this has seen United get trapped into expensive deals in the past for players who do not warrant them. Rabiot will be a free agent next summer, and was quoted by The Athletic earlier this month, saying he is keen on playing in the Premier League. If he had lowered his wage demands in the summer, he would already be a Manchester United player. Man United have to pay at least €50 million to sign PSV star Cody Gakpo in January. Manchester United have to pay at least €50 million to sign PSV star Cody Gakpo during the January transfer window, according to Dagblad ED. The Netherlands international has been in superb form for club and country this season. He scored 13 goals and provided 17 assists for PSV before the World Cup break. He was also hugely impressive for his national team in Qatar. The 23-year-old netted in each of their group stage victories and looked a class apart from his teammates. ED now report that PSV are eyeing at least 50 million euros for Gakpo. United and Real Madrid are mentioned as candidates to sign him, but a deal depends on the payment structure. It's added that clubs interested in signing Gakpo need to be quick. PSV are unlikely to entertain any bids for the Dutchman towards the end of the January transfer window. Gakpo came close to joining United last summer, but the club ended their pursuit after spending their remaining transfer budget on signing Antony from Ajax. The Dutchman has since confirmed that he was expecting to join the Red Devils and recently said that he would consider a move if they return for him in January. The 23-year-old has given an open invitation to United to sign him, but the main question is whether the hierarchy are ready to spend big on the player next month. Judging by PSV's stance, they are eyeing most of the fee front instead of staggered payments, which has become the general practice among big clubs in recent years. Meanwhile, United have had a tendency of delaying big money deals until the deadline in the hope of discounts. A similar ploy could see them miss out on Gakpo next month. I will be uploading daily Man United news show, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.